Hey, I'm Eric. I'm animating faces, including my own, but more importantly, the faces of fictitious characters. And I want them to be something you can talk to as well, with your mouth, and they'll hear you with their virtual ears. Let me demo what I did yesterday, on a Monday, on a work day, on a work night. Let's see what we got. Not this. I'll come back to this. Okay. Here's the screen, and it looks much more polished than the earlier version I had. It's very orange and pumpkin-y. Trying to decide if other people will like that color scheme as much as me. The answer is probably no. It should probably be some kind of setting, but for right now, I like this pumpkin-y thing that I've got here. So all of these UI elements here, these buttons and stuff, I kind of made them all from scratch. I am liking them as a set of reusable widgets for creating different kinds of UI, different kinds of screens. The new thing from yesterday was this bar along the top. I added this bar, and it's got, some things up here. They don't actually do anything. I click on them, they do nothing. They are just buttons you can hover over. This here is supposed to be the name of the document that you're working with. So this screen is for editing a face. You could, if all the functionality was there with this screen, you could select different parts of the face and make adjustments to them. You could make adjustments that were applicable to one emotion, like maybe you wanted the eyes to be slightly lower or when the character was confused. Stuff like that. So anyways, the UI in this is looking pretty much how I want it. I didn't want to say let's arrive at the final UI, but I did want to say let's arrive at something that looks presentable. I found that when giving demos to people about some kind of app that you've completed, it just always works better if you have a somewhat polished UI when you present. People would rather see the UI and not all the functionality than the other way around. Like if you've got just a janky minimal web page with all the functionality working, is somehow demos worse than the opposite case of UI full of no functionality. So I thought it was important to just get something going that was kind of good looking and also reusable, so I can put together other screens with UI pretty quickly. So this isn't just me creating the view pane here to look specifically like this. It's me creating a reusable pane that will automatically have ways to show some kind of headline type thing up here, buttons off to the right, and then you can put in options underneath, and they'll generally get laid out without too much effort. So that's done. In this session, I started thinking about undo, and started thinking about, like, if I click on one of these tabs to go to a different screen, and I come back, I've lost my state here. Here it's not too bad because there's not much state to lose. Maybe let's go over here and let's do something else. Open a wave. Okay, I just opened up a wave. It's going to process it. It processed it. And then I think, oh, but I want to go back and do one more thing I forgot on the faces screen. I go over there and do my thing there, and I come back to speech. It's gone. We've reset. The state just isn't kept. The React component underneath remounts, and it lost all of its state. And I thought about how to fix that, and I also thought a little bit further about what is all the state that I need to be thinking about keeping. So the first thing I was just talking about is screen data. I would like it so we can go from one screen to another and not lose where we were on the previously visited screen. And I would like to be able to undo and redo. I would like for all the data that is needed to save something more persistent to be available in the screen data that does the undo and redo. And those will go into these things I call working documents. I did a little bit of research earlier about something for the web called the File and Directory Entries API. Not to be confused with something very similarly named the File System Access API, which I've used successfully. So the File and Directory Entries API will let you save files to a virtual file system, or you could call it a sandboxed file system. Not on your local file system on the computer. You won't see it like when you go to Finder or Explorer for Windows. It is in a virtual file system just kept by the browser. So I can use that. And then there's a different thing called the, what did I just call it? The File System Access API. That can be used to read and write to files on the local file system of the user. A good question would be, why don't I just use that API, since I can use it to directly write to things? The trick is that you can only save data when the user brings up a little dialog and it comes back with a handle. You can only do one file at a time for saving, and I don't think it's the appropriate mechanism to use for the continuous saving that I want to do, like auto saving as a user does stuff. But I do want to use it for backing up that data. So we come back to here. If you've ever worked in something like Google Docs, it'll just keep on auto saving as you work, but it's not available to you anyplace locally. You could do, here, let's just, to be more concrete, let's go over to it. Create a new doc. So right now it's saving to something out in the cloud, or no, maybe it's, I think it's probably local. It's probably both. Honestly, it's probably both. They probably have a local save and then also going off to the cloud as well. Let me see, where's network? I'm on it. Okay. So there's the network. If I do clear, okay. And I type in blah. It makes a ton of requests right away. It's kind of interesting. I like it. Really just was a flurry of web requests. Okay, so there's log, format JSON. Okay, what did it send? I'm curious. Did it send a blarg text? Jesus. I do not pick up the phone unless it's a contact that I recognize. So I guess I don't really need to know about the API calls there. I'm getting off on a tangent. This is a very strange payload it sent, though. All right, my curiosity is dwindling. What about save, though? Yeah, it automatically saves shit to the cloud as you go. Yeah, here is blah. So it started immediately sending some data to the cloud to save. I'm guessing there'll be another one down below. Save that continues. Am I right? I am. Here's the second half of the text I typed. So it immediately tries to save to the cloud as you work on Google Docs. Anyways, my point in showing that was there was no point in showing that. I didn't need to show that at all. I was being self-indulgent. Google Docs does something like I would like to do. All right, so I wrote out this stuff here for keeping track of revisions. And I also worked a little bit ahead as far as requirements to go beyond that. This working documents thing, I think that'll be kept inside of the file and directory entries system. And then when I do backups, I think I'll use the file system access API. And a plane will fly by me every once in a while. And I'm dying of thirst. I'm just going to step away just for 22 seconds to get a glass of water. I'm very thirsty. Forgive me, please.
Just look away. Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on that.
That's a bad look. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
Right.
We'll go back to normal. Just read a
They
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
See what they say.
You're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be
Can we get a beard in here?
Why is it that
All right, back to it. Okay, so I've got less than an hour and a half to do this. What do I aim to do in this session? I want to get undo and redo to work. That would be pretty good. If I could do that in this hour and 23 minutes, I would say I am a mighty web coder indeed. All right. So I'll go to just one screen, Base Builder screen, and I'll look at my state here. Yeah, I just got part type, test voice. All right, cool. Screen, state, or documents. That's maybe the unifying concept for all these different things I want to build. Okay, so let's add a new class. Let's call it Revision Manager. And it's going to be a generic. Okay. I'm trying to remember the syntax. I think someplace else I did use it already. Let me see, do I got a T someplace? T? I'm just going to search for a capital T. That will not work effectively to locate it. Where the heck did I use already? generics. Was it in web face for components, canvas components? New. All right, instead of finding my code, I may just need to read a few docs. It won't be that hard. TypeScript, generics. All right, just show me a class, show me a class, show me a class definition. Yeah, class, generic number. And num type is just the name of the type. It doesn't have anything beyond that. Okay, so let's call this revision type. I kind of like just calling it T. It's easier for me to see it and say, oh, that's the type passed to the class as a generic. So let's just do that. Okay. So then I want to keep a list of the revisions. I want to keep an index that goes to them. Current revision, no. -1. This revisions equals bam bam like that. Okay, we'll say push revision T. Okay. To do. Or not push, let's say add. Okay. Let's see. I just always friggin' forget the getter syntax. It's gonna be what? Current revision. Get? Is that it? Dang it. JS getter syntax, getter setter. Just show me. Just show me. It's real simple. I just always forget it. Get. Just put get in front of the function name. That's it. Okay. Get. Bam, like that. And then it's going to return back T. Or null. And we will return this current revision though is less than revisions let's just say less than 0. I'll have -1 be reserved to mean there's nothing. Null or this revisions. This current revision now. Okay. Let's do undo revision or T. And then redo Those methods are kind of loaded though. Like they indicate some action in updating the state, which is not actually performed by the revision manager. So, yeah, okay. Let me think about the names on those a little bit more. Maybe just prev and next. I think that would do it. Yeah. Okay. So I think this isn't too bad. I just have to say that if we're adding a revision, but our current revision number is not at the end, then we have to get rid of all the revisions that come after the current point. You know what? I can do better than this. I can do better. I can do better. Just save it. Keep it at -1. And then okay. So here we say if this current revision though is less than this revision's length -1. There's off by 1 there's. Okay, so let me think about this. So we've got 0, 1, 2. -1 is also a potential value. And say that the current revision number is here at index 2. The length of this array is 3. So in this case, I don't want the revisions after the current revision number to be removed. Okay, I think I got const remove from equals if remove from no is less than that, this revisions equals this revisions slice 0 remove from no. Okay, then just push the next revision onto it. And increment the revision number. Okay, is that right? So if we were at 2, then it would be three would be removed from no. And we'd say, is 3 less than 3 minus 1? It feels like a off by 1 error. It would return true, but let's go back 1. Okay. So the remove from the number will be 2. If 2 is less than 3 minus 1, 2. Now this is off. No, it's actually it should be greater than, right? Yeah. No, I'm getting confused. Okay. Now the move from number needs to be less than that, I believe. Okay, let's just do this again. So for the case where it's at 1, remove from no is going to be 2. Is 2 less than 2? 3. Is 2 less than 3? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, so gotta remember. Length equals 3. Okay. Because -1 doesn't count. Okay. Then just slice from 0 to 2, which gives me 0 and 1. That is correct. That seems right. Okay. So then go down to these. These should be much easier. Okay. Then just return this. Ah! When I'm paying close attention, I hear a sound. It always just freaks me out a little bit. All it was my phone. But when I'm focused, I just don't like that. It just messes me up. It's just my neighbors talking about porch thieves and missed deliveries by UPS and stuff. Okay. So this feels like it's just worthy enough for a unit test. But I think this is going to be correct. Let's put some unit testing together for this. Will not take me long. Just my neighbors. Revision manager test. Okay, let's split this to the right so I can see two source files simultaneously. Import revision manager. Yep. Describe. Okay. What? Oh, duh. All right. So that was just a token test. Let's see how it does. Cool. Okay. It returns. Okay, it adds a revision. I like these to be private, please. Okay, let's see how that does. Still passing. Yep. Some classes they're good to write unit tests for. Others not as valuable. I don't write unit tests for every single thing. But I do find they're just very useful in situations where the function or classes are pure, no side effect type functions. Actually, that's not quite right, but yeah. When there's not like... When the things you need to check are all part of the contract of the object function class under test, basically. If the things you need to check on are visual or UI related, Unit tests are not great at that at all. There's some stuff you can do with rendering components and taking the output of them and checking against snapshots, but not that valuable. It's one of the least valuable things you can test against. Ends up being bureaucratic, I think. Sometimes bureaucracy is good, but not for a single developer. So. Okay. Now, I want to check that I can go back to a previous revision. Let's do a previous revision. Okay, so far everything's passing. I've made no mistakes. Okay, rprev. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This should be apples. If I do a prev, it should go to apples. And this R next should go to bananas. Okay. Now I bet I failed a test. No, I didn't. Oh, I'm doing something stupid. I'm saying expect and putting an expression in it to evaluate. This should be to equal. To equal. Now some things might fail. Let's go see. Nope, still all correct. But just to make sure it's possible to fail, yeah, that fails. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, so this is like the undo case where if you undo, you can still redo or move to the next revision unless you add another change from the earlier point. Because at that moment you are starting like a brand new timeline in a sense, and the old timeline from that fork in the road is just gone. We just don't track it anymore. So if we say add apples, add bananas, and then I say add something else, yeah, let's do apples, bananas, cantaloupes, and then let's see, I want to go all the way back to apples. And then I'll add something after apples. Let's call it, what's another thing that starts with B? A fruit that starts with B that is not bananas. Why am I drawing a blank? I should be able to come up with something. I don't know. It doesn't have to be anything though. It's not important. Buffalo. Okay, so then I expect our next to be null. No. Oh, right. If I say next and I'm at the end, it just stays at the end. So maybe it's better behavior for it to return null. Yeah, just say if less than equals 0, return null. Otherwise, and let's see. Okay. Then just do this instead. Okay. So let's see how it does. Yep, all passing, all good. Okay. Okay, next, what else? Kind of interested in doing 100% coverage on this particular thing, so let's run that. Yeah, not much left. I can get 100% without much trouble. 18 and 30. Yeah, it's what I thought it was. Okay, it's gonna be this guy and this guy. Yeah, I know the contracts. And my tests are actually covering redundantly some stuff from up above, but it's useful to me to test the contracts rather than code coverage. The code coverage tells me I'm not done exploring all the nooks and crannies, but it's the contracts, the things I want to be official expected behavior of the class that is what's worth testing. To be null. Okay. All test passing, 100% coverage. That class is good. So next, I can bring it into the face builder screen. We can do define that class. And okay. Type face screen revision. Let's see, what did I put in set state? Test voice and part type. So these two guys, test voice type, part type. Part type. Okay. Set revision. Any. Okay, undo, unredo. What else? What else? So for this, we say let's see, add revision is just Vision, what's the word I want? You don't need everything in the class, you just need part of it. Changed vars. Nah, don't do it that way. How you had it was better. So coming down here, I could do new open, undo. Okay, but this has got to be passing a setter. Okay. I could do better than this. Because it's going to be, say, an initial value on mount 2. Let's do get first revision. Get revision for mount. That's the way to do it. And then this I'm going to take out because we won't need it. Get revision for mount. It's going to return face screen revision. Const. Okay, that's going to be, what is it? Part type, head, voice, test voice type, muted. Okay. Then just return the revision, and that should do it. Okay. So if I've got that, I deleted my other stuff. I can get part type and test voice type from the revision. Bam, like that. This guy here needs to be undo, bam, set revision. Okay. Oh, on click. There we go. That. Some more stuff down here is wrong. Okay, so it's not test voice type, it's just test voice. Okay. Okay, so here, let's do this. Const next revision equals revision manager current revision. Except it might be null. All right, that's a little tricky. That'll be okay. That'll be okay. Then we say test voice. And this should be set revision. We say revision manager add next revision. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Need this to be right, but then you'll say that this could be null. I got you. I could force cast it. Okay, let's force cast it because I'm pretty friggin' sure that there's nothing that's gonna be wrong there. Though I might feel better about using this add revision and just do changes. Okay, let's do that. I'm also noticing that set revision will get called here, so let's just do that. What am I doing? Any, okay. So let's say const next revision equals version manager current if not next revision return. Okay. And then let's do let's take each value that's inside of here and just one by one update. And that'll allow me to also check to see if there was actually any change that needs to be put in the revision manager. Oh, I could encapsulate all this to the revision manager. That's even better. Okay, so this can go inside of there. That would be better. I've got a half-hour left. I think I can still do it. Add changes. Changes. So we say const next revision equals if not next revision, just throw. Okay, so then object keys any for each key why am I Jesus Christ, my brain's falling apart. Okay, so const current value equals next revision key. What? You're saying I could be accessing something that's not part of the... There we go. Makes sense. Okay, next value equals changes. Okay. So in that case, I would set next revision key to equal the next value. And I would fix my typos. Okay. Then has changed equals true, otherwise just leave it. Okay. values, object values, objects must be immutable. I don't know if that's true. I think it'll work. Yeah, I think it'll work even with that. Okay. Okay, so then we say if not has changed, do a console warning and return without doing anything. Changes past. Past add changes. Match current state. No revision. Added. Just do this. This add next revision. There we go. Okay, so I come back to here. Get rid of this. I don't need it. Oh wait, hold on, careful. Yeah, I don't need it. Okay. On test voice change. What do? We say revision manager. Add changes, and then it's going to be test voice. Set revision manager, current revision. Okay. And this will be part type. Okay. Test voice. Okay. Now what's this? Part type change. Okay, yeah, this is going to be set revision. Test. Oops. What? 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 There we go. And this guy here, same deal. I can get rid of this. Bam. Oh, stop it. Okay. I do have this. Is it just... It kind of looks like... Kind of looks like this used to be wider, and now it's... Yeah, I don't even know how to resize this thing. I do like it when it's there. How do I get it back? I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay. So I wrote a lot of new code. And there's some small chance that it'll work on the first try. Well, let's try it out. Faces, okay. So undo and redo is here now. The positioning of it is weird. Let's first see if I can just update my state at all. Yep. Okay. So what happens if I click undo? Nothing. Let's see what's going on under the hood. Okay. So thinking about what I'm seeing, I know that setting the revision is apparently working. Undo does nothing at all. Redo, what would redo do? Nothing. Let me see what happens in the code. Okay. Yeah, next revision came in. So when I call set revision, let's just double check. Next revision. Part type 2, test voice 2. Okay, that is the same as what I have right now, 0, 1, 2. I think that's true. Okay, let me click undo again. Okay, now I'm at null. Did it move something over here? Right, let's store up some more. Okay, so if I go to eyes, I do undo. Okay, let's do revision manager, current revision. Well, this is kind of cool. You got 2 revisions here. They're both the same. That's not good. All right, let's restart this baby. And I'll set breakpoints on this and this this. Maybe this one too. All right. Okay. So I don't think there will be a revision. I think it's null. True. If not revision, let's just return a brand new revision. Well, first add it into the revision manager. Okay. Z, what's going on? A little bit late. You're catching the last 15 minutes or so of my session here. Just adding undo into my app. Because I know from experience that if you add undo to something late, it's a giant pain. Okay, so the revision. Zero and 2. Okay, cool. Okay. Good. All right. Then, if I go to change the head to eyes, let's see what it does. Got 2 revisions. Oh, that's not good. It's like it changed both of them. Yeah, it looks like it did that. So add changes is suspect. There's probably a bug in add changes. Let's come back to it. Refresh. And then go to eyes. Okay. State of revision manager now. Yeah, 0 and 2. Cool. Come into here. Oh, I got it. I understand it. So I did introduce a new bug. Instead of just making a copy of next revision, what I did is took the actual instance of it, modified it, and then added it into the list of revisions. But I also modified the previous entry. Okay, I know how to fix that. That's really easy. Go back to revision manager. And we'll just go bam, like that. As T. Okay, cool. Restart. Head. Eyes. There we go. There we go. This may now work. Let's hit play. Okay. Then we'll do no, didn't work. Okay. I got real excited like it was gonna work, but it didn't work. Sometimes that's what happens. Okay, let's just walk through it one thing at a time. Okay. That should work. I tested it once before. Then do the undo. Okay. So let's look at what's in the revision manager again. I think specifically let's look at the revisions. Okay, so they are different. If I call prev, what it should do is return the first one. Let's look at next revision. That is correct. That is returning the right thing. And then when I call set revision with next revision, I mean, honestly, there's just not much to check in that execution path. So let's set a breakpoint back to here. See what we get back. Okay. So if I look at the revision returned here, yeah, okay, that is right. I forgot about one thing. All these selectors, they kind of use their own state management inside of them. Okay, I know how to fix that. But why build and do it in 12 minutes? I do have undo working, it's just not hooked up to these selectors. I might go a little bit long, but I think I can fix it. Here. Before I make these quick changes that I may have to revert, let's do so if I go to the selector and I change it, if I say we don't have a selected option number state, and the option though has to be passed in. It's not the default option though, it's just the option though. Okay, and just delete this. Maybe I will call it selected option now. Okay. Okay, that'll cause a whole bunch of stuff to fail or not compile. Come back here, it should light it up. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be in these guys. And this is gonna have to pass in part type. Okay, part selector we do next. Okay, then what's the other one? Test voice selector. Okay, then these other ones are gonna mess up. Okay, props, just pass in the current emotion. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, this is going to be selected option now equals emotion. Okay, emotion selector, lid level selector. Props. Lid level. Lid level. Okay. And this will be now if I go to the face screen, yeah, that's right. So emotion selector, just let's leave the emotion just for now to neutral. Please import. Lid level. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Test voice type, already passing that in. Part selector, already passing that in. Okay. Am I building? I'm building. Okay. Eyes. I got an undo. Undo. Redo. It works like a champ. Okay. Okay. Test this again. Get my fonts in. Okay. So let's do just a little trip. Head to eyes to mouth to extra. Muted to female to male. Then I'm going to do some undos. Click this. I expect test voice to go from male to female. Yep. 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 Everything on the screen updating. Ha! Redo. Bam. 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 Any errors? No errors. I feel like I know what I'm doing. Not bad for less than an hour and a half of work. I got undo and redo hooked up to UI, reflecting state changes and everything, and just a reusable framework, unit testing on it. You know what? Let's just do a test coverage on this. Let me see if I can get 100% test coverage. I hear my wife cooking downstairs. She's cooking some food for us. Let's say it adds changes to a new revision. So 30 and 31 are our remaining lines to test. Revision Manager, TS 30 and 31. Okay, if nothing's changed. Okay, so back to here. It does not add change, add revision if no changes. Pet dog. Expect our proof to be null. Okay, we got a console warn. The way to get rid of that is to say const before warn func. Okay, 19 it says. Almost there. 19. Yeah, okay. Seems like you should have. Okay, it's gonna be okay. Let's do if not this revisions length, bam, like that. There we go. Done. Okay. 100% unit tested, 100% working. That is a victory. And you know what I like to do when I run out of time and achieve the victory? Stop the stream. Bam.